that, I want to work with dogs. Oh, hang on. I've got to run a business. I've got to be visible. Like, what the hell I've got to put myself out there. I didn't sign up for any of that. I just wanted to work with dogs. There's a fine line between understanding what people need to hear and not using their kind of pain points and stuff against them. Words. Copywriting is writing words, but words for marketing. And you just cannot stand out if everybody's stuff sounds exactly the same and everybody's images are AI generated and they all look exactly the same.
Bland? Well,
That's a bit rude.
Right, okay. Hi everyone, we are joined by the amazing Rikki Sullivan.
I like that.
Let's
You need
go.
to like frame that up and do
Frame that. It's my thing. That's my I'm not really nervous at all thing.
Who I believe is known as the canine copywriter.
You got it right.
So that kind of gives people an idea of what it is you do. But I'm going to hand over to you and do a little introduction for those who've never heard of you, which I don't know how they couldn't, but...
You're very kind. Bronzell method, right? That's what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
And a bit more. And a bit more. So I do copywriting for dog businesses only and dog trainers, lots of dog trainers. But with that comes a lot of like the marketing and the strategy. It's not just the writings, it's the strategy behind why are we doing what we're doing? What words do you actually need where? Which things are actually worth doing? You know, so like actually guiding people. Often, I think particularly with smaller businesses, so individuals or small teams, the first hurdle is that you don't really know what you need. So it's like, am I even thinking about a copywriter? And if I was, like sometimes people will ask me to write something, I'm like, well, that's a bit of a waste of money, frankly. Like, let's not do that. These are the things that you need. So there's a lot of kind of hand-holding, I suppose, that goes along with the actual writing piece.
And I reckon, maybe this is just me, but I think there'll be people out there going, what do you
even is a
mean?
copywriter?
What is a copywriter? Why do I need one? What's it all about? So
Yes.
let's break it down
Let's make
into
it
really
simple.
layman's terms.
Yes.
Yeah.
But do you know what? You're bang on. I had a discovery call with somebody a few weeks ago and I kept calling it copy. And she was like, when you say copy, what do you... And I'm like, just the words that go on your website. I'm
feeling
calling
like
it web
that.
copy. And she's like, I don't just talk. And it's so funny, isn't it? Because whatever industry you're in, you suddenly start using jargon and you don't even realize you're doing it because it's become so natural to you. So it's words. Copywriting is writing words, but words for marketing. So words that are designed to persuade. I am particularly passionate about being ethical in my marketing and working with people in an ethical way. So I never want to manipulate. There's a fine line between understanding what people need to hear and not using their kind of pain points and stuff against them. So it's words that go on your website. I was going to call it coffee again. Don't call it coffee. Words that go on your website, words that go in your emails, scripts for videos, newsletters, print articles, blogs, all the words.
Oh, not so much.
I don't do social media so much because I like long form copy. So I like getting into the details of stuff. What I love about working with dog people is learn it. Like I'm doing it, 5.5 years now. And I'm learning about dogs by working with all these people all the time. And I love that. And then I love communicating that and making that easy for other people to understand. What I am not good at is short and snappy. So I team up actually with Christy from Pause on Social, who's the social media manager, quite a lot. So I'll write the long form stuff for a client and then she'll turn the long form into short, snappy stuff that's
I'm a bit
for social media.
With, short stuff actually. If I'm going to go all in and write something, it ends up being this very long thing.
That's why our emails are like a short story.
Yeah. But I like that. And I like reading that kind of stuff, you know, different strokes for different folks, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the depth. I like the depth and and particularly in what, like dog people, there's so much nuance. Like you can't really cover anything meaningful without going long. I'm also a bit of a rambler, so I like, you know.
But you kind of take someone through it, don't you, I think? And they're invested in the journey, even if it is just an email or a blog or something. Like if you want somebody to be attached to it and kind of put themselves in that emotional state almost that you might be in if it's about a story about you or someone else, then
I think also so much of what we're doing, you know, as small businesses, is you have to let people get to know you, and you can't do that if you don't go into any detail or length. You know, you don't have to share ins and outs of your personal life if you don't want to, but whatever it is you're sharing, if it's really short and snappy, there's a limit to how much personality you can get across in that, I think. Or maybe that's just because I can't do it. Could also be true.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot in storytelling, and I think there is, you know, we're really big at the moment on how personal brand is a massive thing that's going to really help people stand out, certainly as AI and bots keep coming in. Yes, Skynet, beware. Always say please and thank yous to your bots, just in case. But yeah, that storytelling piece and that personal brand, I just think is so important, because it is going to build that trust, and we have to be doing that through the words that we're using and through the stories that we're telling. And I think for so many of us certainly in the force-free industry, there is still this fear, I suppose, of putting yourself out there.
Yes, massive. But I think it's more a peer fear than anything else.
Yes,
it's you're not really scared of putting yourself out in front of potential customers. Maybe you are, but it's more the judgment, the trolls, you said that and you didn't word it quite right, and being misinterpreted or being ganged up on, and which it's hard, right? I think most force-free dog trainers didn't get into being a dog trainer because they wanted to be on social media. I mean, there'll be some who really enjoy it, but for the most part, it was like, I want to work with dogs. Oh, hang on. I've got to run a business. I've got to be visible. Like, what the hell I've got to put myself out there. I didn't sign up for any of that. I just wanted to work with dogs. And then I realized actually I was training people, and that was a horrible surprise as well, right? Like, it's all just like, oh. So I think there's a lot that dog trainers are trying to get their heads around, whilst also trying to run the boots on the ground business and be a marketing team and a social media manager and the accounts person, and then being that exhausted and pulled in so many directions and being like, right, you've got to be visible. Like, I'm very tired. I don't want to. It's like, it's a lot that you're being asked to do, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, in your experience, people, as in those force-free dog trainers, are struggling with the most? Because for us, I think we've certainly seen a surge in business knowledge and awareness kind of coming to the forefront over the last couple of years.
As in trainers with more business knowledge?
More so, I suppose, like companies like us.
Oh, okay.
So we've appeared, and then I feel like even since we've been going, more and more people everywhere. Have come up.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah,
agreed.
What are your thoughts from what you see on the ground?
I think it's really interesting, because for years people have been saying the same thing, who are, you know, people like you guys who have done the boots on the ground, and you're like, oh, I want to help all these struggling dog trainers. Like, they just keep investing all their money in more CPD, but like, that's not what's the problem. Like, you need to learn sales, and you need to learn business, and you need to learn how to price it, like all of those pieces. I think it's a bit of an ongoing. I kind of see that you have two types of people. What I see from the people that I've worked is you have two types of people. You're what I would call your type A, who are like, yeah, no, I want to learn business. Yeah, teach me the business. Let me know my numbers. And they really fly with it, and they really throw themselves in, and they're very motivated if they've got somebody that can give them a kind of process and a steer in terms of what to do. And then I find there's the other side, who are probably more like me, to be honest, much more fly by the seat of the pants. There's not much, I'm ADHD. There's no dopamine in that. I don't want to do that. Like, that, not fun. And the consistency and the sales bit, I think, is very hard for a lot of people. I think the other thing is actually knowing what to say. I'm going to caveat this with, I don't think every dog business or every business has to be on social media. But if you are using, so there's so many different ways to market your business, right? You don't have to do social media if you don't want to. But if you choose to do social media, just posting pictures of dogs is not very helpful. But I think that comes from not knowing what you should say. Like, what am I supposed to talk about? And I already spoke about that. Like, okay, but only if you're lucky, 10% of people saw that one post that you did 6 months ago. But it feels really repetitive, right? And it feels a bit embarrassing. And then you come back to the peer thing. And so I've gone off on a tangent from the question, haven't I?
So good. We do it all the time.
I started over there and then I went there and there.
You listen to us. I don't think we ever stick on point.
I don't think we do.
That's good.
I like the differentiation of the types of personality, because I think you are absolutely right. And I think this is where there's just so many things that make up a person, isn't there? Like the same way we look at dogs and everything from that holistic viewpoint. You've got the nature nurture thing, you've got the experiences, you've got everything else.
Breed type.
The breed type, yes. It's like, what is
I was not
DNA?
bred for accounting.
Yeah.
And I think it's I just think it's so hard, isn't it, to be in any industry, and I genuinely do not believe that this is just specific to the dog world at all. But I think it's really easy to, I don't know, almost think negatively of business coaches as well.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a bit of a controversial thing to say, but I think there's not many businesses that you can set up without having to invest anything, right? And I say this as before I was a copywriter, I was a dog walker. Anything I had to invest in really was insurance, first aid training, and crates for my vehicle, right? That was pretty low investment. And same for dog training, right? You'll need some equipment. Most people would start without a website. You don't need to invest that much. And I sometimes think it's almost a mindset that you carry forwards then. So like very price sensitive about investing in things that you need for your business.
Yeah.
Whether that's coaching, a website, graphic design, like whoever it is that you know, we've all got different gaps in our skill sets and different things that we need other people to fill. But I think it's almost framed like a luxury, or like an extravagance.
Yeah.
To invest in that support. And I don't know if there's a sense of pride, like, I do it myself. Like, I always think of like my friend's 3-year-old when they say, I do it myself, I do it myself. You can't do it yourself. Could I just open that for you? Like, I don't. And obviously there are some people that can't do it because they can't. I think there is a chicken and egg situation in that, like, my business isn't doing very well. So I haven't got any money to invest, but I need some help. And so I'm just floundering around, going in circles, following different, things that I've seen on Reels or people preaching about, and never getting anywhere because actually you're getting, it's no different to somebody following some Reels to help with the issue they've got with their dog, right?
Yeah, like, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
It's not individualized to you. It's like a very high level.
It is tricky. I mean, when she was saying about the 3-year-old, I can do this myself.
Oh, yeah.
You immediately came to mind.
Okay. But I think actually I'm the type of person where I recognise that someone can do something a lot better than me as well. So yes, I want to do it myself. But if someone gives me the tools and I'm happy to go, I trust you and I'll invest in you because you're going to teach me to do it right, or you're going to do it for me, whatever that is, like that particular thing is, I'm good with that as well, because I'm not everything and I can't be everything. And I suppose for me, it's like, you've given me the tools and I can't do it. That's when I get frustrated at myself.
Then I get really frustrated.
But I am open-minded in a way of like going, you're an expert in that thing. So for example, for copywriting, you're the expert in that. And like, we can probably fudge our way around it and do it a little bit. But is that our area of expertise? No, it's not. Yeah. And it's not supposed to be. And so I get that mentality as well, that people don't want to put that and maybe it's a trust thing.
I think it's a trust thing. And I think, again, that comes, many people, and this applies to business coaches, it applies to copywriters, web designers, SEO in particular. SEO, search engine optimization. I know how many people have been ripped off by people offering them those services, something that they don't really understand when they're purchasing it, and then later they find out they've wasted thousands of pounds. Equally, there's plenty of people that have invested in business coaching, all of the things that you might outsource. and have been well and truly done over after, you know, probably spending something that was a stretch for them, but they were like, I'm going to do this because I'm serious about it. Yeah. And then they've been burnt. So that trust piece, I think, with good reason, actually, is a different. I mean, I've been burnt a few times spending money in my business, and it does make it harder to trust than the next, because it's not just I don't trust the person I'm investing in, it's like, do I trust myself? Like, I made a really bad decision before and I spent lots of money and I feel really, you know, annoyed about that, but also a little bit ashamed. Like, so I think,
and we've done that as well. We've invested where we shouldn't have, but what we've realised,
I think everybody has, though, right?
Yeah.
If you've spent any money on your business somewhere along the way, you either would have got ripped off or spent in the wrong place without realising it was the wrong place.
And actually what I'd say for us is we've invested in things that we're not ready for yet, or it's usually that, like we've gone, oh, that looks great, and then we're like, what are we actually going to do with that right now? Like that's not for us right now, or we haven't done due diligence with it and done your research or figured out if that is the right thing for you or not. So excited. It is. It's like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Let's do it. And then you haven't thought it all through properly. So I guess, the trust comes with doing your research, figuring out, asking the right questions as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you're not asking questions and you're just seeing something that looks shiny and great, it might not be for you.
But sometimes I think also we don't know what the right question is. Like, if you're investing in something that you don't really, like, you're doing it for the first time and you don't really know anything about it, you don't even also really know what questions to ask. And so we've got peer fear, but also your peers are the people that can, there'll be somebody who's found somebody good for whatever it is that you want to do. And if we're not scared of competition and we're actually talking to people and collaborating with people, somebody else can help you find somebody trusted, I think, generally. And it will be somebody that's gone before you tried it, tested it, and can tell you honestly what it was like. And just because it was good for them, it might not be. Like, we all want different things and we all vibe with different people and different methods. Back to that A-type, dopamine type, like, which one are you? But I think asking for help is hard. It's hard for, I'm identifying, by the way, all the things I'm identifying are the things that I struggle. I'm a 3-year-old who wants to do it myself, but I can't. Don't like asking for help. Like, these are all things that can be difficult.
Yeah. And then also that responsibility really is on the business owner, like whoever you're asking for help from, for them to do their research on you, because like for us, the main thing is when someone approaches us and asks for our help, potentially, if we don't ask them the right questions, we just presume everybody's for everyone. And this goes the same with dog trainers. Like, just because you get an inquiry doesn't mean they're the right people for you. Absolutely not. So that's the skill of going, is this a good fit? Is it a good match? Is what I have the right thing for them? And it's that responsibility as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we're really big on, is it a win for everybody? If it's not a win, if there's any area of losing for anyone, then you just don't do it. We coach our clients on that.
But also, you don't want to work with somebody that you either can't deliver results for or that you're going to really hate. Hate, maybe a bit too strong. Not enjoy working. I'm going to really hate working with you. Like, this is not worth it. Yeah. But weirdly, I think actually if you approach it like that, sales is a little bit less hard because it's more like a two-way interview, right? It's like, are we a fit? Yeah. This is how I do things. This is what it looks like. This is how it works. These are the results you can expect. This is what I need from you for it to work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it's like a mutual, like, is this a fit? Is this not a fit?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that feels a little bit less like you've got to go in and close the sale and push somebody. Like,
sales is something we are like, I fucking love talking about sales. Sales to us is doing everything with integrity and having selling is serving. It is being in full service of someone when you can go in with complete openness and going like, hey, Rikki, like, you're interested in working with us. What is it that you're interested in? What is it that's made you come to us? How do you feel like we can help you? And just explore everything and be open to what's your concerns and fears about coming on board. Like, let's discuss it.
Having a two-way conversation about it.
It's like, let's openly discuss everything. And we did this with our dog training clients as well. It's like, brilliant that you've come to us. What is it that's made you want to reach out to us? What have you seen? What do you like? How do you think I can help you? What do you think you're going to get from working with me? Like, brilliant. Okay. What questions have you got for me?
But all of that's like really good insights for you as well, right? Because if they were like, well, I heard that you could fix XYZ problem in 24 hours or whatever, right? Then that's like, oh, red flag. Whereas conversely, if they'd said like, oh, well, you worked with my friend Jenny and you helped her with this and she told me blah, blah, you know, like it's giving, all of that is giving you a sense of the human that you're considering working with and whether it's going to be a match or not. I think.
And it also gives you an idea of how you're perceived by them as well.
I've never asked those kind of questions, but I'm like, that's really good market research, isn't it?
It is.
That's like,
it's feedback.
What are your objections? What are your expectations? What was the vibe you got? Because that may or may not be accurate as well, right?
Yeah. Because also you want to be differentiated. Like there's lots of people that you could go to for this similar kind of support. Like we do strategy and so do other people. So what is it about us? Like what particularly has made you move forward? Yeah. That's helpful. But it's also like, oh yeah, we're doing something right then because, you know, there's a lot of good things about it.
Yeah. So it's helpful. Selling should never be getting somebody to buy that thing from you.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm having this conversation with you and I hate selling. I find it really funny because I'm really good at doing it for other people, but not for myself.
Yeah.
So and I feel like, oh, that's like a gift to be able to do that for somebody else. Because often when I write copy for people, it's really interesting because afterwards they're reading that, oh, it looks a bit boastful. And I'm like, wow, it's what your reviews say. Like I didn't make it up. The first step before I write any copy is looking through or sometimes having interviews with people that have worked with you before and finding out like what they valued, because often it's different so I'll ask you like, oh, what do you think's different about what you offer and blah, blah, and that's a really difficult question for you to answer anyway and whatever. But then I'll look at the reviews and it'll be like, oh, actually, this came up 17 times across all your reviews. This is a really strong thing that people feel about you. But it's much easier for me to write that stuff about somebody else, right? I can write that stuff about you. And I guess sometimes that's why actually it's nice to hire a copywriter because like I've started thinking recently, actually, I should hire a copywriter to do my website because I'm too close to it.
Yeah.
So the things that I could, often when I'm working with somebody, we have like a long rambly conversation, 90 minutes, 2 hours, pull everything out of them. And then I go and turn that into copy. I need somebody to do that for like, it's no different to get as a dog trainer, working with another dog trainer who can see and look at what's going on with you and your dog differently or, whatever it is. I've forgotten what the question was, sorry. All the tangents. How many have we taken? Is anybody keeping track?
I love the tangents. You never know where you're going to end up going.
No,
it's great.
No, definitely.
It's great.
Yeah. I want to pick on the perspective of the ego. You mentioned ego. You mentioned but in your reviews, and you're asking them the question. They're a bit like, oh, I don't want to say anything too much. It might make me look like this or that. And you're going like, the facts are here. And this is definitely something with that question that you said, like, what is it about us that you particularly made you move forward? When we've said that to our clients, and that's what they should be asking their potential clients on a sales call, they've gone, oh God, no, that feels really icky to ask that question.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same.
It's so interesting though.
Oh, it makes my inside shrivel. Please don't make me do that.
But it's really interesting because when you're asked that question by someone else, so like if I was asked that question, I'd be like, that is such a reasonable, really good question to be asked. Yeah. And it's going to make me think,
you think about, well, what was it?
That reason? Because you may subconsciously not know what it is and you just are asked it and prompted and go like, oh yeah, that's what it was. So that person is never going to think like you are going to think about it probably. But I find it such an interesting thing. I
wonder why. Yeah, my brain's ticking now. Like, what is it that makes me uncomfortable about it?
What about your
past... literally?
Yeah. No. What about thinking about it from your past sales, like people who've tried to sell to you type experiences?
Do you know what so for me, I find that I'm very slow to process things, right? So when I'm asked, It's a very good example to come on something like this where I don't know what any of the questions are going to be. I hate being put on the spot because, like, you know, if you ask me my favorite food or something, basically my brain just goes like, I don't know, I've never eaten food before. I like blank. And so if I was asked that kind of question by somebody, I think I'd do one of two things as a potential customer being asked that question. I'd either people please, I'd say what they think what they wanted to hear, or I'd go blank and be like, I don't know. I'd probably go blank and then people please. That's probably what I'd do.
And here's another question then. What if that person gave you the time and space to
that would be different.
Process?
So I think if I got a question like that, like in writing, but this is different people work in different ways, right? If I had time to reflect and think about it and I wasn't put on the spot, I'd be very happy to. And I think, like you say, it's actually a really interesting thing to consider, both for me to share that information with you, but for me to think about, what was it that made, because a lot of those things are subconscious, right? When we're making buy-in or inquiry decisions, or when, you know, you see something and you're like, I really want that, or I really don't want that. A lot of it's subconscious. Actually, it's interesting to sit and think about it, I think, from both sides of the coin, if you can get over the discomfort of asking.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest challenge all of us have. In fact, we talk a lot about how we've invested a lot of time, energy and money into I am going to call them like therapy sessions, really, like over the years with like our mentors, and I feel like our souls have been bared sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, like
so vulnerable.
It's fully like, you feel really exposed, don't you? You're like, oh my gosh. But I think having gone through that, you can really start to, you know, when you just learn more about something anyway, and then you become so like vividly aware of it. I think that's the ability and superpower that we have now when we're coaching others, because we can go, I can see and feel the fear a million miles off. And then this is why, when we're looking at it through the lens of business, we're like, I can see how that fear is impacting the business now. And then we can't get your superpower of being able to help the dogs out because we need to address this.
Got to deal with that block.
And we need to, unearth that block and go, okay, so where does that come from then? Because when we all have our own triggers, don't we? Like as soon as a certain question's asked in a certain way, and depending on your personality profile and all that. And for us, this is having that skill and that ability to be able to go, do you know what? I recognize that somebody feels uncomfortable with that. So how can we just change gears a little bit?
Adapt?
How can we soften if we're coming off a little bit too, I was going to say harsh, but we don't do that kind of stuff. But a bit too.
I didn't imagine either of you being harsh.
No,
direct, but not a little bit gentle. Like
a gentle directness.
Gentle push.
So I think it is. Do you know what? So many people always used to say to me, it's like, oh my gosh, Joe shoves you off a cliff, but it's been the best thing. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good that you ended it with that. Thank you. Oh, the fear.
Vicky leads you up to the cliff. Vicky takes you up very gently alongside. Joe will just literally beat you up.
Okay, gentle was the wrong word.
That's the difference, guys.
With good outcomes though, and people have enjoyed it, and we've not done it until they're ready. But
you recognise all of that first, and then
and I think this is the ability to be able to see it, and I think this is where, like, we just love exploring everyone's views on everything, because ultimately we are running a business. When you are a dog trainer and you're asking for money in exchange for your service, you are a business owner, and we have to explore these different things. And, you know, like we've mentioned with AI coming in and all of this stuff, if we are not, we need to figure out how to get comfortable in the uncomfortable of putting ourselves out there in a way that is still aligned with our own values. You don't have to be somebody that you're not. I'm absolutely hate advice where it's like, you need to be on social media and do reels and do all this stuff. I fucking hate reels. If you ask me to do a reel, I'm just going to tell you where to go.
We literally will just not do it.
Often I go from like, all right, I'm going to do it, and I just cannot do it consistently. I hate it, and I'm just like, why? Like, why are you even bothering? Like, there's so many different ways to market. Like, the non-negotiable is that you're marketing yourself and you're making sure you're visible, right? That's the non-negotiable bit. How you do that, lots of different ways. Like, you don't have to, and I think if you find the way that suits you as a person, or is at least the least uncomfortable, for some people, all of it will be uncomfortable, but there'll be a least uncomfortable option, you're more likely to do it consistently. And that's what, you've got to be consistent for something to snowball.
Yeah.
And so if you're trying to snowball something that feels like you're pushing uphill because actually I hate being on camera, or opposite, I hate writing, like, all right, cool, don't write, talk. That's fine, and actually AI is a great tool that can help us create stuff in different formats, whichever way if you're more of a talker than a writer, cool, you can talk to the bot and it can help you. If you're more of a writer than a talker, I mean, I don't even want to go in that direction, but you've got all of these things now that can do the script. Do the script in your voice. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite scary. Sometimes I feel like I'm living in like a future science fiction movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Feel a bit like that.
I can't tell what's real and what isn't. I don't like this. Take me back to the 90s.
It's been a theme of today.
Yeah, has it?
We did an episode about the 90s.
Take me back to the 90s. Yeah. Please.
Oh dear. Okay, and so from your perspective then, so we've kind of covered a bit on we believe a lot of people are struggling with the visibility side of things, and kind of touched on sales. What do you see as being like almost like a pinnacle thing that's happening in 2026 for the dog industry that's impacting people and their business?
Big bastard question, isn't it?
Pinnacle?
Yeah, we're allowed to swear on it.
Oh, do you not know us?
Yes.
I thought we would be, and then I just sort of say bastard really quietly, just in case. The pinnacle of 2026.
Pinnacle of 2026.
Do you know what? I think it's AI, actually. I think it is in terms of marketing, which is my space. And as much as I've just said that there are ways to use it, I think there's a lot of people using it
piss poorly,
badly.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I really struggle with how to talk about it sensitively, because I know that for some people, if they struggle with writing or they struggle with doing video, if they struggle with both of those things, like, AI has given them the gift of being able to actually show up and they're posting stuff. And if I think they feel a step removed from it, so that visibility fear also feels a little bit soothed by the fact, like, if somebody criticized it, Claude or ChatGPT wrote it, wasn't me. But I think it's doing a lot of damage. I mean, when I do a lot of doom scrolling, I can see a lot of AI content, and maybe I can spot it more than other people, but I think it's really obvious. There's some real clear telltale signs. And, I think in any business, but particularly when somebody is trusting you with their dog, they want to know who the human is. And you just cannot stand out. If everybody's stuff sounds exactly the same and everybody's images are AI generated and they all look exactly the same, it's just a bit boring, isn't it? And I think it is creating a massive trust deficit. Yeah. Like we just said, I feel like I'm living in some sci-fi. Sometimes I watch a clip and I'm like, I don't know if that's real. Is that a real person or is it not a real person?
These famous kind of viral clips that you see.
Well, I watched this thing with them. Wow. Who's the Diary of a CEO guy? This was months ago. It was like a round table about AI. And he was saying that he had to employ staff to deal with the amount of deep fake accounts that were ripping people off. And they had like video that they were doing like whole videos with his voice. You
do hear about stuff like that now, don't you?
Madness. So therefore, trust, which is really important if we want to sell anything, right, is at an all-time low. So I think AI is probably the biggest thing. And the positive thing about that I think is, like, you don't have to have perfect photography. You can be a bit scruffy. You can be a bit rough and ready. You can have bad grammar, like all the things that I've always kind of tried to, like, just be yourself. Sounds too simple. Like, obviously you need to know the touch points that you've got to hit in your marketing and whatever, but like, don't overcomplicate it. Just be yourself. Just show up. Talk about what you care about. Talk about how you can help people.
So I'm finding this really interesting to listen to, because I feel like that is a big challenge though.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to look at AI is to go, how would you feel if you were marketed to like that? And it's nothing to do with dog training. It's any consumer thing, right? Yeah. And then, okay, just come across as yourself, be messy, do a selfie without any makeup on or whatever. Yeah. That's so hard for people to get their head around. And
it's something like no one wants to see me without, like, well, for me, it always used to be like, you'd never get a picture of me unless I put my makeup on. Okay. And now I'm like, I
barely wear it.
Barely wear it. I think today is like probably the first day.
There's a podcast thing. That means I'll be wearing some makeup.
I know that.
Apart from that,
my daughter was like, what's going on? Where are you going?
Yeah. But I just find that, which sounds like
in public.
Yeah, but it sounds like really easy advice for you to give and for us to give. And by the way, we say the same things. But there's a real barrier around that. And that's almost like the safer facade. Is all the fakeness, isn't it? Which is crazy, but
it hadn't occurred to me that it was. I did a post ages ago about it because I was like, why? I'm curious, like, why are you leaning on it so heavily? And I thought it was because of a lack of confidence around writing, but actually some of the responses were that detachment from self, like, okay, well, actually, it feels safer because it's not coming from me. Yeah. And yeah, I suppose I must recognise that I'm coming from a place of privilege when I say just be yourself, because the marketing stuff comes, like, it's so ingrained in me now that I do it without thinking, much like somebody else would, I don't know, teach a spin or a nose touch or what, do an agility run without thinking, and then to actually teach somebody else how to do it is like, it comes so naturally to you, it's hard for you to break it down. So I think, it is coming from a place of privilege for me to be like, I can bash out a post or an email really quickly, and I've hit all those touch points because, like, do that for a job.
Yeah.
So you're right. I don't know what the answer is.
I don't know either, but it's
I think probably baby steps, isn't it? Breaking it down into small manageable steps, and much like how are you going to teach me how to do that thing you just did with that dog? How did you do that? Okay, we're going to break it down into, like, here's the first bit that you need to manage.
Yeah.
And much like people who want quick fixes, well, that's very boring and long-winded. When will I get the results?
Yeah.
So not so different, are they?
No, they're not. We're always referring to dog training like business, aren't we? Like dogs, and thinking like,
it just helps it make
communicating.
Sense, I think. It's like, hang on, actually,
definitely.
Yeah. No, it's kind of two things coming up for me off of that. One, I actually find it hilarious now because in my corporate life of being in an ad agency, I remember having to sit there and proofread ads that were going to go into the paper.
Oh, did you?
And there was a double tag team, and we had to have an actual paper, quarter page in Birmingham Mail. And you'd sit there with a pen and you'd be reading out the copy, and then you'd like tap for every capital, and then you'd do certain things with this pen, so you had to like proofread it. And now I'm mindful, every time I'm writing an email, if I spot a spelling error in it, I'm like, I'm leaving it in.
Yeah.
I'm purposefully leaving it in so I've written it.
I wrote that.
Whereas you just wouldn't have done that a few years ago.
Well, no, but also, maybe this is too copywriter geekery, but whatever, you can cut it out if it's boring. We're consuming so much AI-generated content that almost by osmosis, I find sometimes I'm starting to write like a bot.
You've used my word. What? She always tells me off for using that word, osmosis.
Oh, I love
it. Oh my God, I can't believe you actually said it. So good.
Osmosis team.
She's going to be like forever loved now.
Yes, Rikki said my word.
You've got issues.
It's fine. It's a more interesting word than just like filtering it or whatever you want to say instead. I just
absorb. I like osmosis. Yeah. It feels like that's what happens. Because it's like this invisible like thing that's happening, and suddenly I'm like, it's not this, it's that. Like very AI telltale.
I feel like I need to be Homer in a GIF now. Homer in a hedge.
You're going to recoil in the hedge.
Recoil into a hedge.
The osmosis crew.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's a scientific process.
It just reminds me of plants.
Well, yeah.
It's funny how repelling some words can be, isn't it?
I like it. It's onomatopoeic.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's just showing off now.
We always have to have like a little bit of a vocab lesson on this podcast.
Well, we normally have is that a word or is it not a word? And we
my
likened
favourite
it to...
thing is made up words.
Yeah, but Joe makes a lot of words up. And they've always usually got a ness at the end. So Ryan, our videographer, producer, editor, whatever you are today, he will normally verify if it's
your
word
job.
or not.
I feel like that needs to be incorporated into the show. It needs to have like a card that you can switch, like real word or not real word. Like, ding ding ding. That would be
We'd
cool.
have that all the time.
Oh my God, I think that's a great idea. Like the dead or alive. Is he dead or is
You're
he
welcome.
alive? Right, can you get it? Oh, he's not speaking today. He said he turned his mic down.
No, I'm out.
You're not going to play?
I'm not going to play.
Oh, he's in!
You threw her off track.
I know. Where were we with the osmosis thing?
Don't know. Osmosis, AI, writing like AI. Why was I talking about
Me
that?
writing purposefully putting spelling
Spelling
errors.
mistakes.
Oh, putting spelling mistakes in. Yeah. Yeah.
That was it.
That was a really good point, that.
Totally went off track.
My second point then, other than spelling
That was
errors on
something else.
purpose,
Yeah.
was I think a lot of this comes down to we haven't got a fucking clue what we're doing as a business owner.
There is that.
So you're being told by, subconscious things everywhere. Be visible, be on social media, have an email list,
real.
write a blog, have SEO, have a website, get good at sales, all the stuff. And then you're like,
Now what?
I've literally just gone and done a course, learned how to train a dog. And what the fuck is all this stuff over here? Where do I start? When do I do it? Why do I need it? I don't know.
But why isn't the business stuff included in the training?
Oh my God, such a good question.
That is a brilliant question. My stomach is really rumbling.
It does keep really rumbling.
Breakfast was a long time ago.
That McDonald's was quite a long time ago.
McDonald's.
Oh God, we also have to bring a McDonald's.
I really wanted a McDonald's for breakfast. I was very disappointed that there wasn't one at King's Cross.
You said it the right way.
Well, I
though.
thought I had to require.
You said
go on.
McDonald's.
And
I say McDonald's.
It's not spelt with an A.
there's no A. It's muck.
See?
Oh no, but who says it muck?
Like every single
Who says
person.
it best?
A big muck.
Big muck.
Anyway, back on
Well,
track,
that's
people.
true.
See?
No, but there is an
method in my
A in
madness.
Big Mac.
Well, there is
We have to look
an
it
A
up
in Big
afterwards.
Mac. There must be. Because people otherwise would say big muck.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What
back
were
to
you
the point.
saying?
Stick a group of parrots in a room together. This is what you get. Yeah. So what did we say? People, not the courses aren't teaching. the business
not
stuff.
training you. Yeah. So like, oh, here's how to train a dog. Like, good luck with the business. Bye.
Yeah.
What is that?
And do you know what? And this is what
What is that?
I'm going to be so bold as to say. This is what is incredibly frustrating from bringing you into the loop with me on our part, in that my perception is I think business in general has negative connotations around it.
Okay.
Certainly from the coaching aspect. Not all, obviously, because every industry is different. But I think some business stuff can be perceived as, oh, it's all about making money and all of this, but in a negative way. And then I think when we look at it from the actual CPD side of it, it's technically all the air quote nicer stuff, isn't it? It's like, this is how you're going to make a dog's life better. This is all the joy. This is the fun. This is the
But if you can't do the business bit, you won't make any dogs' lives better,
this
will
is
you?
it, yeah. And this is it.
Well,
so
you
like
make some, but not
the
as many as
business
you
bit.
could.
So I've recently completed my level 6, so an actual Earl in real life degree. Earl. Did 2 days a week at university with loads of little whippersnappers around me.
I just don't know how you sorry, I'm going to interrupt because I'm just like, how do you do this? You're home editing, running a business. You've got animals that need looking after. Like, how did you do a degree as well? Like, I bow down to you.
It was painful.
I can't even be asked to cook dinner most nights, to be honest.
I don't do
Like,
that.
Yeah, you don't do
That's
that.
it, I don't do.
That is something she
That's
won't
out. That's boring. Don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't do it. Food bit just bores me.
Anyway, go on.
In
Sorry.
that degree, there was, so in year 2, there was a business module in it. Now, I got to A pellet, which basically meant I didn't have to do it because I'd already got a level 6 in marketing, which I'd forgotten that I'd had. I did that at night school.
You just like literally never sleep. How many hours a night do you sleep?
Not many.
About 4 or 5.
Watch this, guys, on YouTube for the faces.
Horrific. For those on audio, horrific.
Yeah. But then when I put the kids to bed some night, I'll just stay in there. So like from 7:30, I can be out until like 7 next morning. So like 2 or 3 nights a week, I get a big lump, and then the rest I'm like, no.
You binge sleep.
I'll binge sleep.
Okay.
You go MIA sometimes, and I'm just like, oh, she's gone. Yeah,
she fell asleep at 5:30.
Yeah, pretty much. So yes, but I got to A pellet, but they asked me to come and do like a guest mentor session on it. So I went and delivered my business talk. And then I was chatting to all my other little whippersnappers on that course. I'm like, what are you learning exactly? And it was quite, I'm going to say advanced business, but also not advanced business, because it's a simple theory. However, it's not applicable for when someone's just starting, I feel.
Okay.
So I was like,
it's not very functional.
No. And then I kept checking in with people in my class, going like, what are you guys going to do when you finish this degree? Because from my experience, sitting in this room now, I don't feel like...
You're all screwed.
Yeah, I was like, I don't feel like you're well equipped to go and do anything apart from stay in academia. And they were pretty much like, yeah, I might just go and do my master's. I'm like, for what reason though? Like, I'm struggling to understand here, unless you genuinely just love learning. But some of them were saying that they did want to go and be a dog trainer and stuff. And I'm like, okay, awesome. I still don't feel like that degree is giving you enough to go and be a dog trainer. Do you feel confident to go and be a dog trainer? And they're like, no. And I know some people actually who were in the same class as me, but they were just a year ahead. They've done the degree. Then they've now gone and done another course on dog knowledge to make it more specific about dogs.
Yep.
And then their plan is to go and do some ABTC stuff to get the recognition from there. So I'm like, so you're basically just extending your learning, and you've still got no cash coming in from the dog side of it. And they're like, no, I've just gone and got a proper job so I can build up all this knowledge around how to be a dog trainer. And for me, this is what frustrates
that bit's me. Enjoyable though, isn't it?
It is enjoyable.
I always think this is like, well, I really love learning about the dog stuff. I really love learning the geeky science and the why does that happen and how do we, that's really interesting. I always say, like most dog trainers don't want to learn marketing.
Nope.
But unless you've got deep pockets and a way that you're going to be able to outsource it, there isn't a way around it really, right? Marketing and the business side of it. Like, how many dog trainers even know what their hourly rate is? Because it's like you're counting just the time that you were at a one-to-one, right? Or at classes, whatever your business model is. And say, okay, we've got all your planning time, all your discovery call times, report writing, travel time, creating social media. Like, all of those things are part of running the business, right? But when you chose your price because you were like, okay, well, what does the person up the, like, what am I allowed to charge? What does everybody else charge? Like, so you're just starting on the back foot, and then you're like, oh, how have I ended up working 50 hours, 60, 70 hours a week? Because that was the only way you were ever going to be able to make the amount of money that you need to make to, pay for everything.
Oh, yeah. That sounds very familiar to me. Back in the day.
That was your business model?
That was my life and my business model.
I'd say, but like when I started dog walking, I was never a dog trainer, but like I say it from experience, like I undercut everybody. Everybody in the area absolutely hated me. All the dog walkers hated me because I set up with like the lowest bottom. And to be fair, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So like that was what I was worth, frankly, at that point. Like over the years, that once I realised what I didn't know, then I got better and charged more. But putting the prices up was so much harder than it would have been if I charged that from the beginning. Not that nobody should have paid me that in the beginning. Like I really wasn't very good. But again, like that, almost because it's thought of, at least by the public, as like a hobby business, right? Yeah. So like You can go and be responsible for 4 dogs with no prior experience, nobody like training you, guide. Like, I was very lucky that after a little while, some local dog walkers took me under their wing and then taught me all the things I didn't know. And then I was like, okay, cool, right, I need to change the way my vehicle's set up. Shouldn't be walking that dog with that dog. Like, absolutely, I was getting everything wrong with the best of intention. Like, I didn't go into it thinking, you know, I love dogs, I'm going to be a dog walker and spend all day, every day with dogs. Oh, okay, that's not what I thought it was going to look like. But there's almost like a perception from the outside before you go into it that it's not a real business.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think that comes from within. Like,
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so, because we're not running it like a business, and we're not, I think a lot of the insecurities actually come from the business side of it. Not all of them, but I think sometimes if there's more structure there, if there's more sort of, I know what I need to do to get to that. Yeah. Potentially. Like, it could be linked together. And so, you know, for me, I had no bloody strategy at all with anything. No. Just adding all these things on without knowing where I was going or what I was doing or.
Yeah. And for me, this is ironic the right word? I'm not sure, but kind of like to your point earlier, Rikki, of like, why is the CPD not including this in the teachings? And it's a really fucking good question, because theoretically, if we're wanting this knowledge to reach the public, because the way I started looking at things, and I appreciate this might come across as a little bit controversial, come out with pitchforks, I apologise now. We do that a lot. But if realistically, these CPD providers who are incredible, I am not I've done pretty much every single course going, I love it, I am a course junkie, like keep giving me stuff to learn. And the knowledge it's incredible. Like, every conference we go to, I'm like, oh my God, like, feed me more of this. This is amazing. And it comes with a but, in that those are businesses. Those CPD providers are businesses. And they are marketing to the imposter syndrome in us all, saying, you need to know this extra course. And that's the controversial bit, because I don't think, because I never looked at it like that when I was in the thick of being a dog trainer. Yeah. And again, I don't think it's that intentional, sleazy way of doing it, but it is that marketing. It is that whole, oh, look, we've got this and we've got this. And now we've bred a population of us that are going, I'm not good enough. I don't know enough, so I now need to go and do this, and I need to go and do that. I'm not good enough to work with the public yet. I haven't got enough experience. I don't know enough. I have sat here and publicly admitted, and I will do it again, I've spent the best part of £100,000 on my dog knowledge, including the degree.
100 grand.
100 grand, easily. And
I bet for people that have been in it as long as, that's not offensive, is it? Doing it as long as you,
while,
like, that's probably not unusual. You can easily, right? Yeah. I mean, that's probably a bit more than the average person, but like, you can rack it up quite quickly, right?
Yeah. You think by the time you added like conference, if you go to like 2 conferences and add up the whole expense of it, the degree was 40 grand. So that was like a big chunk of change on that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it was, it was like just under 10 grand a year for that degree, and then I had the maintenance loan on top just to see me through.
I do think you're largely unsupported there, because you can join these bodies, right? Like, whichever, you know, whether it's, I'm not going to name any specific. You can join whatever accrediting body you want to join. And that's great. Like, I think it's really good that we have a body that we can say, okay, well, everybody that's under this, who's got these letters, who's got that badge, has met this criteria of assessment, so we can have some level of confidence. Like, nobody will ever know what actually happens, but we've got some level of confidence that this is somebody that we can recommend. But then those organisations themselves are not marketing to the general public. No. So it's all falling. So you've paid for your training. Yeah, you've gone and done whatever certification, assessments, ongoing CPD, you're investing in all of that. You believe, like, I want to belong to this body. I want to show that I am doing things properly. And I'm, in that sense, you know, actually backtracking on what I said, like, you are investing in that education and that commitment to, you know, that imposter syndrome also comes from wanting, like, I don't want to get it wrong. I want to get, it's really important to me that I get it right. But those organisations aren't doing the other side to actually raise the awareness with the general dog owners that you should be looking for somebody who has this qualification. You should only be coming to this site to find, here's our directory of all the people that pay us X amount of money a year to retain our badge.
And this is why
the badge is meaningful to your peers,
but not to
the vast majority of the public. And I'm not saying that it doesn't that it is meaningless, but it's not helping you with your market. It's meaningless to the people that you're trying to get to part with their money.
Yeah. And this is the big disconnect, isn't it? Because people are going like, I don't know what that means. So if you put all this fancy stuff on, it potentially could be brilliant.
You could knock up whatever badge you bloody wanted in Canva, frankly, couldn't you? Like, there's a carousel of badges that mean nothing to the person that's considering whether to hire me or not.
And again, I was that person with all the badges, like underneath. And again, it didn't help me with business. No. It didn't.
It's unfair, isn't
build trust, really, because they don't know what it is.
What it means.
So how is that going to help build trust?
And I think this is where that business bit has got that. I mean, maybe it's just my own perception of it, but there's a feeling that business can seem sleazy and icky and like, whereas actually for me, like our interpretation of business is get your incredible knowledge, get the reason you got into this, get it out there and allow it to give you the life that you want with the money that you want to earn, because you've got a choice. You can go and it's an unlimited earning potential. Do what you need to do whilst giving an incredible service and knowing that you're doing that win solution for everything. Like win for you, win for the client, win for the universe. Like everyone benefits.
Yeah. And
to me, that's what business is. That's exactly why CBA exists. It's let's make it enjoyable. Let's make it fun. Let's work on ourselves. Let's look at where these blocks are and how can we get this amazing knowledge that we're all so deeply invested in out to the public.
Yeah, and do all that money that you spent on it, like make it worth it. Because not that it isn't worth it, but like make it work for the people that you wanted to help and the dogs that you wanted to help.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who are doing all these courses, thinking each of these courses is going to help them feel more confident and put themselves out, and it's still not doing the job.
Do you think that's the motivation? I'm not sure if that is the motivation. Maybe it is.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's more than that, I suppose. And sometimes I guess you go to these conferences where someone's talking about the thing, and you go, I want to find out more about that. And then really your rabbit hole goes down there. And great, that's fine if you've got the rest of it working. But it's when it's all that sided and then there's none of this figured out, it's really tough, isn't it?
I think it does. I mean, business and marketing, I think we're in the same boat, right? Marketing's got a bad rep and business coaching sometimes can do. I think it really depends on the individual that you go to. And I think that there's, again, I'll make the comparison. How you've got aversive dog trainers, you've got people that have that same kind of mentality that will teach you marketing or do your marketing for you, be a business coach. And then you've got more empathetic, values-led people that will do things a different way. We're not like, it's not the same, but we're all tarred with that brush, I think.
Yeah. And don't forget, there are some dog trainers out there that just take money and don't deliver services.
Yeah, of course
you hear about that sometimes. Unscrupulous people. In any walk of life, they're there, aren't they?
Yeah.
And again, it comes down to what do you know about that person first? What's led you to move towards them? All that stuff we were saying about earlier. That's where that is so important, and the trust building and the nurturing and the
policies, right? Like if there's is there a refund? Is there a way for you to test it out low cost before investing? Or to test it out maybe not low cost, but if it's not a fit, you can. There's a 14-day calling off or a way for people to try things out to a degree, because I think for many it is a scary thing to, particularly if you've been burnt before, it's a scary thing to invest in a second time. So I think like finding ways to be able to reduce barriers without undervaluing what you're delivering, but reducing barriers. I know you guys do a lot of free masterclasses, and so people can come and they don't have to spend a penny, and they can come and do your masterclass or come to your challenges and stuff that you do, so they can get a flavour of whether you're a fit or not before committing to either one-to-one or joining your program or whatever.
And this podcast is,
and you've got the podcast, lots and lots of podcasts. It, you know, people have a really good opportunity to get to know your vibe long before handing over any dosh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Any dosh.
Good word.
Like a dosh.
Good word. But yeah, I suppose that's more from our perspective than it is for dog trainers. But it's the same, right? I suppose if you're, in terms of marketing as a dog trainer, there will also be people who have been burned. Like, well, I've been to 2 trainers. They promised me X, Y, Z, and they're not going to. It's like, well, how are we going to get over that objection? How are we going to build trust?
Yeah. And for us, it comes down to that sales process again, really ultimately. What else do you need to know to make sure this is the right decision for you? Yeah. Like once we've explored all the typical stuff, like what's going to stop you moving forward? What is that? And let's talk about it. And if it's that, like we've been in positions with discovery calls where someone's that scared that they know it's the right thing, but there's like, you asked somebody once, how would you feel if you handed the money over and they said physically sick? Didn't they?
And so they were in, like they came to us. It was a discussion like, I love everything that you do. Like I'm in, but I could see like she was physically shaking, and I was like, can I just explore this with you, because I do not want to be.
And she was saying yes to buy.
Yeah, she wanted to come and work from us,
but it was making her that.
Yeah, she was really uncomfortable with the amount, and I was like, okay. So we explored it, and this was like the 3rd call that we'd had. So I was like, okay. I was like, right. Let me explore it again. And she was like, yes, okay, we're in. And I was like, can I just check? Like, let's just pretend we've done the transaction now. We're good. You're in the program. How do you feel? And she's like, physically sick. And I was like, sick in a good way or sick in it? And she's like, no, I think I'd regret it. I was like, do you know what? In that case, let's just not do it. So let's not do it. And I was like, I'm not letting you in. You're absolutely not coming in.
Well done. I don't want that money. No. I don't want that level of regret.
And it's like we're going at I wonder why
she was still progressing.
Well, she wasn't ready. Like it transpired. She just wasn't ready. She thought she was ready, but she's not. And she's still around. She's still in our world. She still listens to the podcast, but she's not ready to invest. At some point,
it will be the right time.
But hopefully it will be for her.
And the trust will be there because you said, actually, do you know what?
Yeah.
Totally. She was ready to give it. And I was like, I'm not feeling this.
Feel right.
Like, no,
it feels off.
But again, it's exploring all the objections. So that's essentially what I'd been doing. It was like, right, okay, so you come here. What do we like? All of this stuff. Okay, brilliant. How do you think we can help? All of that. What are your concerns about going ahead? Well, what if it doesn't work? Do you know, I totally appreciate that. Is a very valid concern. Yeah. What do we need to do together to make sure that it does work for you? Yeah. Because I don't want to tell you all the stuff that we do, because that's me telling you it's not the right answer. So let's explore it together.
Also, you can never guarantee results, right? Like, just like anything, like it depends what the other party puts. So you can sign up, you can pay whatever the program fee is. There's no guarantee of the results if you don't put the work in, right? So like you can never promise.
Same as dog training.
Yeah.
You can't ever guarantee it's going to work.
No, the majority of cases where it's not working out, why? They didn't do the work between sessions. Yeah. Okay, cool. I can't fix it. Like,
but I think that's why it's important to have those open, honest conversations in the sales call. God, got me coming now. Which is why we love talking about sales, but we don't really refer to them as sales, because we just see it as like just having awesome people skills and going, let's just explore it. Like, it's a scary thing for both of you. So let's just look at it as that nice value exchange and go, is it a win on both parties? Does whatever they're giving you feel valuable enough for what they're getting back from you? And let's explore it. What are your concerns? What would stop you going ahead? How can we make sure that this is something that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, and being really clear about those expectations, right?
And it's also bringing other people into it. If there's the husband, wife, like they're part of the decision, get them involved, because otherwise you might be loving it, but they're not going to. And they go, how much?
I'm talking to somebody, and then the husband says, no.
Yeah, because if they weren't in on the conversation, they don't have opportunity to ask questions and figure it out as well.
Yeah, they don't have the same and then you're sending the partner home to do the convincing without the tools to be able to
do it. And the same with dog trainers. That's how we're coaching people to do these sales conversations with owners. It's like bring you both in. If they're both involved in the dog's care and they both have a buying decision to make together, then let's get them both involved. So it's the way to just open everything up and just give them the chance.
And actually avoiding those conversations can lead to remorse, like people who have remorse over purchasing, right? Because if you hadn't had that conversation with that individual and then made the call that you did, and they'd, even though they hadn't been put, like they, you know, that individual was making that choice of their own choosing, and nobody was like pushing them over the edge. And then she'd regretted it later and then told other people that she, you know, like that has a reputational impact. So actually by avoiding having conversations about expectations and making sure it's a fit can have ripple effects, I think, beyond just that one sale as well.
Yeah.
And like I've had somebody, I don't even know where she came from recently, but she joined our membership and I'd never seen the name before. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Where's she come from? And then 3 days later, she cancelled her membership. She hadn't come to any call, like she hadn't used anything. And I was like, emailed her to ask her for everything was again. She's like, yeah, it's just not fit. And I'm like, oh my God, please take your money back. Like you've had, you know, she wasn't expecting a refund. She hasn't used anything. But I'm like, the goodwill of that, considering I, like, you know, it's cost me absolutely zero time. It's not a good fit. But at least you'll go away thinking like, she didn't even, you know, could have kept my money and didn't. Like, I feel like, well, that reputationally and just like, it's a good thing. Like, it's a decent thing to do.
Just exploring everything that's a problem.
Like, and
what we always think is like, explore it now because it will show up later anyway. Yeah. So if you kind of leave things unsaid and undone, and this is why we encourage everyone to speak to their potential clients as well, because you just can't have that. If you're not having conversations, you can't explore the worries and concerns like Joe was talking about earlier, and then it will show up later anyway and cause you more of a problem. So it's like, do it early, get it out in the open, do all the stuff, and then your life will be easy. Everyone's life will be easier later. So.
No, I can't imagine doing that one-to-one work with somebody that you haven't had just click a button on the website and find, oh my God, no thank you. It's really like a 6-week program. Like, oh no.
Yes. Oh, I've done that lots of times.
It's very common in dog world.
Really?
Yeah. I used to
because people are avoiding that sales conversation. I'd rather sell on the page and not have to have that conversation.
In my early years of dog training, I'd just get an inquiry in and it'd just be like, hi, I'm just inquiring about dog training. And I'd email them back going like, hi, thanks so much for inquiring, blah, blah, blah. Here's a bit about me. Bore you to death with all my qualifications and accreditations. Here's a bit about my mentors, bore you to death with all of that, and basically say go and work with them instead of me because they're better than me. Here's my price list, bang, bang, bang. If you want to go ahead, let me know. And then inevitably, don't know how, some people will come back and go, yeah. And I'm like, awesome. And they're like, can I pay cash on the day? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I would just drive around to random unknown houses. I'm like, you've got 5 sessions with me. Can I have my £300 in cash, please? Actually, I didn't even ask for that up front. So I'd deliver the session and then get to the end and have that awkward hanging around moment.
Oh, God, so you haven't been paid for any of that?
No. And I'd be like, so...
Oh, my Christ. Can you imagine a plumber coming and doing your plumbing and then like us... Like, no way.
There's still so many businesses that do it. Darren, my husband, he's recently he's a gardener.
Okay.
Although, what does he refer to himself as?
It's not
grounds person.
Grounds.
Not quite landscaping. More like
a hierarchy in the gardening.
More like the hard, mucky, grafty stuff. Anyway, so he's just implemented this thing where he's got several people on a mowing ground, and he used to just do it as like pay at the end of the mow, which I think is a fairly typical thing. But now he's implemented this thing where it's pay a mow ahead.
Yeah.
And so many of his clients are struggling with that concept.
Really?
Like, well, can't I just pay you at the end of the mow?
But that's because it used to be different, right?
Yeah.
So when I started as a copywriter, I just followed what everybody else did. So I was like in my copywriting coaching membership and it's like, all right, what happens? So you ask for 50% up front and 50% at the end. And so I did that for a little while. And then I found like people would ghost you and I would have like completed the project and I never got paid the other half, right? I'm like, being funny. I'm not doing this anymore. Screw this. Like, it's 100% upfront. And if you can't afford it, that's fine. We can do a payment plan. But I will not start work until you've paid in full. Yeah. Because you can take legal action if I don't, like, if I take your however much money and then don't deliver the service, you can take action against me, right? Yeah. Very, very hard for me to get money. Yeah. But it was that expectation, just following what was, I thought was, everybody does it like this. And I see now in like copywriting groups, people having issues with their payments, and when they're working for corporates and they've got like really long bill times. And I'm like, no wonder you've got cash flow. I mean, I can still have cash flow issues sometimes as a small business, but you're waiting that long for payments. But it's that following
what everyone else
what
does.
You think, or even what you think everybody else is doing. And again, I think it's setting it up right from the beginning, isn't it? Because like for Darren, changing that with new clients coming on board, they'll be like, "I'm overhead, that's fine." Yeah. But when you're like, so you used to pay in arrears and now I've got to pay in advance, I've got to pay double. I don't like that. Like it's so much harder to change things than it is to like just start fresh. Like, this is how I'm doing things from here on in. With all new people, legacy people can just like
you'd almost
whatever.
He has got a few legacy people where he's like, I just can't be fucked. Like, just leave it. They're fine. They've been going long enough now, so it's just that's fine. But but it is like this. To me, that is a perfect example, and beautifully backed up by your example as well, that we have all got incredible power if we all decide to do something about it.
Decide to decide. Wow, that's very deciding.
Extra emphasis on the decision.
Yeah. And we're also not questioning whether what everyone else does is the right thing for them. Like, do we ask them? You do like that? Does it work?
How's that working out? I know.
Because we're afraid to question it, I think, as well, isn't it?
But this is also, I mean, this is everywhere, right? The comparisonitis.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, this person's doing whatever on social media and it's going really well for them because they got this many likes and this many. Is it?
Yeah.
How do we know?
Where are the facts?
Like, so you're looking at likes or you're looking at income?
Yeah.
Like, which one are we?
And again, you look at the likes, it's all dog trainers liking the posts and things like that.
I had a client recently who was like, should we do a like for like a follow? Like,
God, that winds us up.
No, because it's unless you're doing it with people who are your ideal client, like you're teaching the algorithm completely the wrong thing. Like, not a good idea.
Oh, there's so much to go into.
I definitely think we need to get you back.
Like a follow-up.
I think we can just keep talking.
The nerves didn't last very long, so that was good.
Yay.
Hurrah.
You know, when you were saying about like, oh God, you're going to ask me questions I don't know the answer. Like, hold on a minute. For half an hour you've been doing that absolutely fine. And now you're going like, if you just ask me that question.
Maybe I just won't answer the question. Like, when you watch it back, you'll be like, she didn't answer the question that I asked her at all. She went off.
It's brilliant. It's a good skill, guys.
It is a good skill.
We do it all the time. Like, if I don't know how to answer it either, I'd be like, I'm just going to answer what I think.
Something else. Something loosely related, somewhere in the same postcode.
As long as you give us an answer, we don't care.
As long as I don't sit there like a rabbit in headlights, nobody will notice. It'll be fine.
Exactly that.
No, brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been lovely. Yay. It's taken a very long time to get here, but it's been really fun.
And if you are only listening to this or you're intending on listening, you go and watch it on YouTube because Rikki is here in person. In Earl wearing awesome clothes.
Earl.
So let's get on the
matching leopard print. Little bit.
Yeah. You haven't got a leopard on today.
No, I haven't actually, which is
You're quite bland, actually.
Bland?
Well, that's a bit rude.
Right, okay.
Yeah, usual.
Neutral is probably the word, maybe. Ish. I don't know. Okay.
Prefer bland.
That's nice.
All right, well, we'll do it again and we'll all wear leopard, shall we?
Didn't get the memo, did I?
Where can people find more about you?
Website is www.thecaninecopywriter.co.uk. I'm most active on Facebook, which is also Kelsey Breeze, the Canine Copywriter. Sometimes I do Instagram. and I fannied around to TikTok very briefly and couldn't keep it up. So yeah.
There you go.
Go check her out.
We'll put the links in the show notes.
Thank you very much. In the show notes, very professional. Very professional.
Thank you so much.
I'm not bland at all. Thank you for having me.
And we hope you have an easier train journey home because you had a bit of a nightmare
me
here.
too.
Didn't you?
Me too. Fingers crossed.